Are you tired of doing the same thing over and over every day? Are you tired of living a life that you hate? Are you tired of submitting to authority and allowing other people to tell you what to do with your life? Well, you don't have to do that anymore. And today I'm going to be talking about how to shift your identity and become a completely new person. But it's not as simple as just, saying you want to be a different person. You have to be a different person. But it is actually very simple. Simpler than you would think. Because once you start to just do the actions that the best version of you would do, whatever you can think up, take some time to yourself and come up with, how would the best version of me be thinking? How would the best version of me be acting? What would the best version of me be doing? All of the things that the best version of you would be doing, try your best to introduce those into your life one by one. You don't have to do it all at once in one day. Yes, you could technically do that, but I found that it's been easier for me to just do a little bit each day or introduce a new concept into my life. Like when I know that something is kind of weighing me down and holding me back in life, I will focus on that and be like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And as long as I do a little bit of this every day, eventually I will get better at that. And I keep stacking more of those on top of each other. Once I get down that consistently, where it's easy for me to do that because I built up the habit, then I'll add something else. And there's a lot of things that I still want to work on, and I'm not perfect by any means, but I have shifted my identity quite a bit. If you go back and watch my old videos, I was still in the same concepts, but I've evolved a lot over time. And I'm going to continue to evolve. This is still the very beginning for me, really. But not really trying to, boast about myself. I'm really just using that as an example for you guys of, I have at least tried to do this. But in 2023, I'm really locking in. I'm really all in on this. And not because I feel like I have to do it out of desperation, but because I just really feel called to do that. So I encourage you, if you want to shift your identity, find whatever that is for you. If you have that feeling that you need to do something, just do it, man, because you don't know how much time you have, and there's so many reasons why you should just do it. But if you want to shift that identity, do what I said and figure out what the best version of you would be doing, or at least what you think they would be doing. Look at other people in that field, or if it's a career that you want to achieve, or if it's just peace and happiness, look at happy, peaceful people and listen to their advice on how to do that. Or look at someone who's very successful, watch their interviews about what they did and take little pieces of that. Or just watch their content. If they make content and you want to be a content creator, success leaves clues. So if you want to be successful, watch the little things that people are doing in that field. That's why they're successful. It's little things that you can pick up on, but you're probably intuitive because you're on my channel. You can probably pick up on little things, even about me, that I do that make me successful, that you might pick up on that I don't even notice about myself. Or anybody you watch. So if there's somebody that you want to be like, this is what I've done. I have picked up little pieces from every person that I want to be like, the things about them that I like most, and try to be that in my own way. And that's kind of the goal, is to get better every day. And you will shift timelines. If you genuinely believe you are a different person, you can be a different person, because you have to realize it all comes back to the fact that everything happens in this now moment. All of those past memories you have, the old you that you believed you were, that person isn't even real. Yes, they are real. But what I'm saying is the old me died a long time ago, because I wouldn't even we don't match up on a lot of things. Yes, it's not to say you can't still have a personality, but the things that I valued at that point in my life are way different than the things I value now, and the things I value now will probably evolve into something much different as I get older. But the point is that you could be born in a different country, you could be a different age, you could be a different race, you could have a different ethnic background, cultural background, around different influences that have all shaped you into the version of you that you are today, if you allow it to. Yes, it will shape you, even if, I mean, there's certain things that you have no control over. But what I'm saying is, if you still had this same spirit and you went to a different society where people derived pleasure from different things, or they thought different things made you successful, it would be likely that you would try and fit in and do different things. So you'd almost be a completely different version of yourself. You know, have you ever been a different version of yourself around business people or something than you have been around like your friends? Or, you know, you might speak to a teacher differently than you spoke to your friends in high school. But you get what I'm saying? You can adapt and shift, and this is why our ego exists, is because it helps us be safe. And humans naturally adapt. We have natural instincts, just like other animals. And so our natural instinct is to try and fit in and try and follow the crowd and try and make sure that we are seen as part of the group. And so what a lot of us have problems with, especially if you're watching my videos likely, is that you have trouble fitting in with the crowd, but you want to be accepted because it's just your natural instinct, but you know that you have to walk this road alone at least for a period of time, or maybe you've already got a big group of friends that you've reconnected with or found. But the basic concept that I'm trying to get across here is that your identity is flexible. Whoever you want to be could change at any moment. If I wanted to choose to be a completely different person 5 minutes from now, I know now that I have the capability to do that because I've experienced such great levels of change when I've decided to do this. You can also listen to success hypnosises or listen to my higher self meditation. The link is in the description. But there's a lot of ways to reprogram your subconscious mind to believing that you are the other version of you. And the more that you take action on that goal, or I guess just the goal of being the best version of yourself in whatever way that is for you, the more you do that, more you're going to believe it. And so I know at first it might be very hard to like convince yourself like, oh, I'm a new person. No, I'm really not. But all of that happened in the past. It's now. 5 minutes from now, it will still be now, and this moment that I'm speaking will be a memory to me. But you can focus on the past if you want to, but that's not going to get anywhere. Just like the old you is not going to get you anywhere. There's a reason you're watching this video with a desire to jump into a new life. So just take the leap. And I'm not trying to make it sound easy, but it is. If you really believe it, it actually is. Another thing that you need to do is don't be so focused on changing as much as you need to be like adding new things, I guess is what I really mean. As much as you want to let go of the stupid stuff you're doing, which will allow that other stuff to come in naturally. Like if you want to be the best version of yourself, and you have a lot of bad habits right now, or at least things that you consider to be bad habits, you got to let those go before you can ever really let the other stuff in. And I still have some bad habits, and I'm still letting other stuff in, so it is possible to do it both at the same time. But it's better to let go of stuff, because sometimes like you waste so much time on whatever it is for you. Like we all have our vices, I guess, but like just like dumb stuff that we know we shouldn't be doing, right? Like that's just hindering us, that's what you should do first. And then start trying to become the new version of yourself. But you can do both at the same time. I see no reason why you couldn't do it all at the same time, but everybody's different, you know. I kind of gradually did little things as I went along my journey. But an example for me right now is, for a while I felt like guilty about my competitive nature. Like, I didn't realize that's what it was. I'd been like almost hiding from my competitive nature, like my passion, or like I just wanted to be like seen as nice. I think it's because I went too far with my ability to be a ruthless person. Like, I know I'm really nice on here and pretty much always a good guy in my life. At least I think I am. But like, if you like really push me to the brink, like, I have the ability to be very like Kobe, you know. It's like the Mamba mentality. Like, I have what I would call a dark side. Like, I guess everybody has a dark side, and I feel like my dark side has been my competitive edge, or just like just desire to beat people and stuff. Or just when I was a kid, like, I would be that kid in the pacer test. If anybody knows the pacer test, the classic pacer test, I would win that every time. Like, I would go on forever. Like, it was not that serious, kid. Like, you're in middle school, just relax, dude. But I would do that elementary and middle school. If someone would beat me, I'd do it again just to win. And I had like the fastest mile time in middle school. I was really good at running because I'm just skinny. I've always just naturally been good at running. And I just had like a real competitive fire in me at that age. And as I got into high school, I guess that just kind of died out, and I stopped caring about that, started caring about other things because people didn't care about that as much. Like, I guess people kind of cared, but nobody was going to be like, wow, you had the fastest mile time, you're so cool. But in like middle and elementary school, if you know, like, especially guys, like, it was kind of lit if you were like the fastest person at recess and stuff. Like, that was good. That was good for your reputation. And so my way of fitting in was using my advantage at that point, was just my competitive edge. But as I got older, I stopped caring about that because I was like, it doesn't really matter, which it didn't. But that's just an example. But in every other area of my life, I lost that competitive fire because it felt meaningless, because the future started to like creep in, and I started to realize that I had no idea what I actually wanted to do with my future. My future just seemed laid out for me, and I felt like I had to do something that didn't really seem like I ever wanted to do it. Like, any path that was an option at that point in my life never felt real. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur or something. I knew I couldn't be an employee. Like, it's just not an option for me. So that's why I know I will never quit. Even if this somehow wasn't what I ended up doing, like, I would always have found something to do on my own, because I just have that within me, and I had been hiding from it or feeling guilty, or after having a spiritual awakening feeling like I need to be a nice guy, you know, which I am. It's just a mixture of both. And I think that's why I had this synchronicity recently where I kept getting all these things pop up, like just probably a week ago or so, where it was like, embrace your dark side, or like I got like a notification on this app that said like, all the secrets are in a dark cave. And then I was watching a tarot reading by New World All-Star, and he doesn't actually really do tarot readings. They're more of ads for him, but it's just funny to watch sometimes. I love him. Kurt teaches the truth about twin flames. Watch New World All-Star for twin flame advice. But anyways, basically he said that in the tarot reading, which I believe was meant for me, because I think everything in life is just meant to be, even if it seems bad to me at the time, like I just accept it all. And what the tarot reading said was that I have not even tapped into 95% of my gifts. And I realized that is true, because I had been running from one of my biggest gifts. I had been running from my like fire and passion to be great. There's no shame in being great. I think it's just because I didn't want other people to like think I'm like cocky or something, just like because I want to like achieve something with my life and just like not just be a normal person, fit in. For so long I just tried my best to fit in or just not even fit in, but just like lay low and just kind of not even be seen at all. And this year I feel like I just got to be okay with being disliked. I got to be okay with being hated by some people, but I will continue to do what I've been doing. I've been doing this. I've been using my competitive fire and fuel. But I guess I just didn't realize that how much I felt guilty low-key about it. But the universe has given me like a ton of these signs where it's like, go into the darkness. And like Kobe's trainer, he like trained Michael Jordan and Kobe. I'm not sure if it's a trainer, like psychologist or what, something like that mentored them basically. He said that they all, like, great people, they have like this dark side, and Kobe's like my biggest inspiration, like the Mamba mentality. That's why he created his alter ego, the Black Mamba. Like when he's on the basketball court or when he's training, he's a very different character than off the court. Off the court, Kobe's was very insightful. RIP, legend. Was very insightful and like inspirational, and that's why I always gravitated to Kobe. But he also had the killer instinct on the court, and I love that about him. It's just like, I've never ever seen a player in sports with the passion of Kobe Bryant, like in the biggest moments, just the absolute tenacity that he had. He was the only one that would stand up to Michael Jordan, and that always inspired me. And I wanted to be like Kobe, but I felt like I'm too soft, man. I'm too soft. But actually, the real me when I was a kid, I had that, and I forgot about it. Like, I really was him. I'm just joking, but like in middle school, I got voted like most athletic. Like that was I mean, I guess it was just because I played a lot of sports and ran, but I was always like a super skinny, tiny kid, especially in middle school. Like I wasn't that athletic, but somehow I got voted that. But that didn't age well for me in high school. I definitely peaked in middle school. But like just coming back to that and reconnecting to like my inner child, I guess you could say, has been big for me. And doesn't mean that I'm going to be like an egotistical bad person because of it, but like to just embrace that it's okay to want to compete sometimes. It's okay to want to achieve something. And not everybody has to do that. But like I believe that is my life path, and like every astrology reading or numerology reading I've ever done has always said like I care a lot about like having an influence and like leaving a legacy. Like that's like the biggest thing for me. It's never been about money. It's more about legacy. It's more about like I just want to help, and I want to do it. Like it's selfish in a way too. It's like not even just about helping. I mean, I'm getting a lot from this. It just makes me feel good to feel like I'm leaving an impact on the world. So thank you guys for everything you've done for me. But when it comes to you, I say all that to say that in order to shift your identity, maybe there's something that you're hiding from. Maybe there's a part of you, maybe that you want to share with other people, or just accept yourself, accept about yourself that you don't have to change that. You can embrace it and use it for good. After everything I've said and getting a lot of things off my chest, I feel in a higher vibration. I feel more grateful today. I feel good. I feel like I'm a new, better version of myself. And I believe we are shifting timelines every second. And each moment, each decision you make, jump on to a different timeline. So try your best to make conscious choices. And this is why consciousness is important. Because a lot of people think that consciousness is a waste of time and you won't achieve anything. You won't actually plan ahead or think about the future at all because you're only focused on the present moment. But what they fail to understand is that because I am so focused on the present moment, because I am so appreciative and grateful of this present moment, I can shift timelines whenever I want to because I'm that like tapped in. And I want you to get that tapped in. So just keep being. All you got to do is be. You know, just genuinely believe it in your heart, man. Watch my old videos for inspiration. I actually take pride. I am proud of how terrible of a person I felt like I was before I had a spiritual awakening. I'm proud of how low I got, because I know that I'm going to climb out of that, and I have been climbing out of it. Whenever you see somebody, don't think, man, why are they so successful? I should be more successful than them. You can be competitive. Like I said, I'm having to embrace that side of me, but at the same time, know that you can all win. You can all win. Yes, maybe you want to be just that little bit better than someone else, but you can all win. We can all win in this life. Everybody's definition of success is not the same. And your definition of success may change over time. And you may want to be a version of yourself now that you become, and you realize that was not a good idea. But that's okay, because that was meant to happen. Every dumb decision you make, every stupid thing I've ever done, I realize now how, if I never did that, I probably wouldn't end up right here. I wouldn't. It's like the worst moments in my life are the things I'm most grateful for. If you can, I just hope that everyone else can get to that place, because it's a great place to be when you're just fully accept everything that comes into your life. And you'll find that you start to like almost get this kind of luck. It's like a luck. It is an aura around you. It's like things just attract to you, and you think like, how is this actually possible for this stuff to keep happening? I don't even, like, I think I'm in the Truman Show sometimes. It's like, how is this actually happening to me every time? It's like I have the Midas touch now or something, after having the shit touch a long time ago. Like, it's like everything I touch turned to shit. Now everything I touch turns to gold. It's crazy. And I say that humbly, because I know one day the world can be on top of you, or one day you can be on top of the world, the next day the world can be on top of you. So you never want to get too egotistical and too high on your high horse, but you also don't want to be like I used to be and have zero self-confidence and just be miserable and be scared to even walk into a classroom at school because I'm so embarrassed of how I look, even though I don't even look that bad. But I just feel like I'm just such a failure, and I just feel like nobody gets me. Like, I know what it's like to just walk into classroom just feeling like this is hell. Like, this is hell on earth. I know what it's like, man. Every negative thing that you've gone through, all the stuff, all the times people told you couldn't do it, all the people that did you wrong behind your back, all the people that did you wrong and you know they did you wrong, and you don't even say that you know they did you wrong, but you just keep it to yourself. You can forgive them, but it does not mean you have to forget about it. It does not mean you have to make them an important part of your life. So I'm just saying, 2023, sometimes you got to let go of people, man. I've been alone for a while. That's another way to shift your identity. Sometimes you got to be alone. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. That is where ideas are born. And that is a Nikola Tesla quote. You know, being alone is a very important part of not only the spiritual awakening process, but just overall growth in life. I feel like a lot of people just get lost in the crowd, or lost in relationships, or hopping around from relationship to relationship. You never spend enough time by yourself to ever really get to know who you truly are. And who you truly are is pure consciousness expressing itself in human form for a little while. And if you really know that, and you really believe that wholeheartedly, if you actually take the time to do something about it, you know, there's a tiny percent of people that will watch this video and will actually take it seriously and will actually do the things that I said, or just believe in themselves and bet on themselves and believe that they can create their reality and try it for themselves. There's only a few people that will actually do it. A lot of people watch this for entertainment. They watch this to make fun of me. They watch this to criticize. They watch this to make themselves feel better. But I don't want you to just sit here and watch my videos. I want you to do something about it. I want you to be teaching me stuff one day. I want you to be a bigger YouTuber than me. I want you to inspire a whole generation. You never know the ripple effect that you could have. You know, that's why I do this, because I never know what kid could be watching this that maybe become the greatest of all time human ever, that may have learned one little thing from me, or had me say one little thing that made him pick the camera up, or made him pick the basketball up and follow his dreams, may become an NBA player. All I'm saying is, you never know how one little thing you say to somebody in life can change the trajectory of their life, just as if the things that you believe about yourself will become true. So take action as if you were the best version of yourself, and you will see miracles happen. I promise you. If you actually believe me, imagination is real. The imagination is made fun of. Everything that people dismiss, please try it for yourself and see what happens. That's all I gotta say. Not everybody's meant to find it out, I guess. But if you're watching this, at least do yourself a service, or do the world a service, because right now you're doing them a disservice if you're not at least trying a little bit to be the best version of you, because you have something that you came here to do. Little do you realize that you probably were begging to come here, and yet you got here and you forgot all that, which is why you wanted to come here so bad, because this game is like, this planet is so immersive, because we have the veil of forgetfulness here, law of one, shout out, but we have the veil of forgetfulness, so that means we forget why we came here. We forget all that. Some people remember at younger ages than others, but you have that awakening to remember, and you have this hero's journey of remembering yourself slowly and slowly letting go of the beliefs that you used to hold on to so tightly, until you are completely free. And what you see going on in the mainstream media is only an example. It's just a reflection of what's going on in the inner world of all of us right now. Our inner world reflects outside. That is proof of what's going on. They tried to mask us. They tried to muzzle us. They tried to tell us we can't speak. But they forgot that it was 2020 and our vision remained clear. You have an innate responsibility being here as a human at the greatest time so far to be a human, to be the best version of yourself, at least a little bit. You don't have to do what I'm gonna do, but you can at least try a little bit, please. You will help so many people out, and most importantly, you will help yourself, because you did come here for a reason, and I'd hate for you to go back up to wherever we came from after this, for whatever split second or whatever happens, and see that you were supposed to do these things, but you didn't. And that would just break my heart, man. So just do it for me. Now is the time to take our power back. Watch the video, take your power back. 2023, we're not having any more of this BS, guys. You got to get over your ex. You got to get over your boss. You got to get over your ex-wife. You got to get over your whatever. We don't care anymore. It's our time now. It's our time. But in all seriousness, guys, I'm just having a little fun, but the video Take Your Power Back is now going to finally be popping up on the screen eventually, whenever it's the last 20 seconds of the video. I know I'm going to be rambling for a little while, but I also have a higher self meditation, Moldavite giveaway. I love you all. Universal crystals forever.